Hi, my name's Imogen and I'm the founder of imoves.
And my name's Gay and I'm lead presenter with imoves.
And we are super passionate about supporting teachers to get them super confident in teaching anything active throughout the school day, whether it be in PE and teaching tricky subjects like gymnastics or dance and now Pilates, or just getting them more active in the classroom.
But today we're focusing totally on how to teach Pilates to primary age children, and we're going to give you the confidence to do it even if you don't have any experience with it at all. So how much do you know about Pilates for children and the benefits that it has for the kids? Have a look at this scale. Are you at the bottom end, a 1 or a 2, that you don't know very much at all about it? You've heard bits and bobs, but you're not really sure about it. Are you sort of 3 or 4? You know it's really good for them, but you're not really sure why. Or are you a number 5, that you know the results are incredible and you know the reasons why they should be doing Pilates? Wherever you are on this scale, this session will give you all the information you need to understand why Pilates is so good for kids.
So not only is it important for them to cover this in part of their PE programme, but also throughout their school day, trying to be a little bit more active and using Pilates-based activities is really, really useful for their core strength.
Let's have a look at this next slide. How do you feel personally about teaching Pilates to children? Are you a little bit daunted by teaching Pilates exercises and don't feel very confident at all? Are you in the middle, happy to have a go with a bit of training and support? Or are you at number 5, really confident but just need some more ideas? Maybe you want to deliver some staff training in your school. Wherever you are on this scale, this session will give you the tools to feel super confident delivering Pilates activities to any age group.
So here at imoves, we have produced an easy process for children to understand and how to include it into your PE programme or into any active learning programme. So the 6 key areas that we focus on are core strength, spine movement, improved physical literacy, improved motor skills, mood management and mindfulness.
So firstly, let's look at core strength. When you think about Pilates, you immediately think core strength. It's one of the most talked about buzzwords. Everybody's talking about core strength this, core strength that. And it's not about getting abs or a 6-pack. People often get this on board with, oh, we need great abs, we need a 6-pack. But that is something entirely different to core strength. Core strength are about the muscles that support the trunk and the spine and the shoulder girdle, which is sometimes called the upper core.
So as a teacher, it's really, really easy to see the signs of poor core strength, isn't it? And one of the easiest things to look for is fidgeting and not being able to sit up properly for very long. Another one might be poor balance and coordination. Another sign might be having poor motor skills, including poor handwriting skills, so just not being able to sit up for very long.
And looking at the last one, W sitting, it's where the child sits comfortably and happily on the floor with their feet out either side of their bottom and their knees tucked in. So it's their preferred position, but it's really, really bad for them. Try to encourage them away from this type of position because it really damages their ligaments, their tendons, their bones even as they're developing. It's a really bad position for them to sit in. And it also makes their core musculature switch off so that it can't actually activate to support them very well. And this whole package can cause really long-term problems into their teens and adulthood. So if anything, please try and encourage them away from this position and encourage them to sit cross-legged on the floor instead. And they won't like it, will they? They'll be really uncomfortable, but it's going to do them a lot of good in the long run.
So think about the children that you're teaching and how it relates to them. And children with additional needs may often present with these indicators. So Pilates can have a massive impact on every child in your class. Let's take the Pilates 100. It's one of the best known Pilates exercises, so let's have a look at this because it improves core strength immensely. I'm going to show you how you can teach this really easily to your class and get some great results. We use videos to demonstrate the moves and the children follow along, learning the moves as we go. We then put all the moves they have learnt into a fun theme with an exciting story, so even the most reluctant exercisers will join in. Here's the 100.
Card 10, the 100. This one we are lying down on our backs, legs are bent, and we start in the easy position, lifting one leg up so that it looks like a square above your hip, and then the other leg up to join it. Heels and knees are level. So that's your easiest position. To make it a little bit harder, straighten the legs out, but keep them up quite high. Easier than going lower. So decide where you work the best, where you feel it's challenging you, but not working too hard. So let's recap. Legs bent, easiest. Next level, extended legs, but higher. Next level, lower. Okay. And that's the 100.
You can also use flashcards with lots of helpful information on there. Lots of Pilates exercises build core strength, and using these tools they are so easy to deliver safely and effectively.
Now let's look at moving the spine. When we sit for long periods of time, the spine is held in one position, and that's usually flexed forwards. If you think about children writing or reading, it's usually that flexed forwards position. The shoulders are hunched and the neck is held in a really strange, awkward position. And if you think about if you go on a long journey on a plane or in a car for a couple of hours, how uncomfortable you get and how stiff and tired you feel when you finally start moving again. You really feel terrible, don't you, when you finally get up and start moving. And this is how the children feel if they're sitting in their chair for too long.
So moving the spine has amazing benefits, not only for the body, but also for the brain.
90% of nutrition and stimulation to the brain comes from movement of the spine, which is massive. It promotes spine and back health, which helps them now and throughout the rest of their life. It nourishes invertebral discs and the central nervous system, again helping them now and throughout their life. It helps the development of the vestibular system in the inner ear to improve proprioception, spatial awareness, balance and coordination. Crossing the midline activities, which means rotating the torso, develop complex movement patterns so that the brain can process movements that involve the hands working on opposite side of the body. Things like getting dressed, tying shoelaces, and using forehand and backhand movements with a racket.
So here are the spine movements that we try to develop through Pilates, and it's all about just practicing them and getting to move in between these positions as often as you possibly can. So here we go, let's have a look. Neutral spine, where the spine is in its natural alignment. Flexion, where the spine is flexed forwards. Lateral flexion, where the spine is flexed to the side. Rotation, where the spine is twisted side to side. Extension, where the spine is arched backwards. All these positions can be done standing, seated, lying on your back, lying on your front, lying on your side and kneeling on your hands and knees. So let's practice those now.
So let's look at seated first, and you can join in if you want to. So we're seated in neutral spine, where the spine is in its natural alignment. So that's lifting up nice and tall, shoulders are down and neck is long. Perfect. Flexion is where the spine is flexed forwards, so we sort of sink down and allow wrinkles to come on the front of your shirt. Rotation, where the spine is twisted side to side, so we're going to twist side to side. Lateral flexion is where the spine is flexed at the side, so bending sideways. An extension where the spine is arched backwards, so arching, lifting the chest, lifting the ribs and looking up towards the ceiling. Brilliant. Now let's do that standing. So neutral spine, where the spine is in its natural alignment. Flexion, where the spine is flexed forwards. Lateral flexion, where the spine is flexed at the side. Rotation, where the spine is twisted side to side. And extension, where the spine is arched backwards. Beautiful, Imogen, well done.
So how can we fit more spine movement into a child's day? Well, we can start by doing them seated in their chairs and just start to do some twisting and some stretching, and that's really nice and just refocuses them, doesn't it? And then doing them standing behind their tables and chairs and just creating more movement within the spine as you do that. And then just start to think about, well, how can I get more of these really easy spine movements into a child's day to energise brain and body. So just have a think about that.
Now let's look at improving physical literacy. And this is another one of the most talked about buzzwords around at the moment. But not many people actually know exactly what we mean when we talk about physical literacy.
Physical literacy can be described as the motivation, confidence, physical competence, knowledge and understanding to value and take responsibility for engagement in physical activities for life.
And that's from the International Physical Literacy Association, who create this whole physical literacy programme.
The most significant window of opportunity for children to develop their physical literacy is between the ages of 0 and 7 years old. This is why it is so important for children to work on these skills as early as possible so they are embedded and secure by the age of 7. So let's now take a look at the components of physical literacy.
Understanding. Understand how your body moves. Motivation. Understand that your body can do anything if you practice. Physical competence. Controlling your body and your movements. Knowledge. Know how to do specific actions and movements. Confidence. Know what you can do and how to improve. All of these components can be measured and assessed.
So if you're a teacher who has children who need help with their fundamental skills, then Pilates will really help with that too. So because it's so important that children work on their physical literacy from a very early age and from as early as possible, we need to embed it and secure this into their psyche, if you like. So we've integrated Pilates into our phonics programme, and it's so lovely. And it ticks so many boxes, doesn't it, through just getting them fitter, stronger, and also, again, teaching all their phonics that they need for their development.
So learning phonics actively and being active whilst learning anything really helps the focus, the memory, and can really speed up the process of learning the phonics. And it also contributes to the active 30 minutes per day that children need to achieve in school. And they do spend a lot of time learning phonics, so it would be a really great way to really build up those active 30 minutes. Pilates moves also have the added benefits that other activities don't have. As we've seen already, the core strength, the helping with all these really good motor skills, and it can really help to ensure that physical literacy is embedded and secure at an early age.
So let's have a look at how some of our phonics activities actually work in the classroom.
Here's an example. Sound K. Pilates movements, moving along the ground like a caterpillar, and saying the sound as you move. So saying K, 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 caterpillar. You can do individual cards, or you can combine them to make a flowing Pilates sequence and spell out a word. As we can see here, we're doing K, 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 caterpillar, apple, toes, which all go together to make the word cat.
If you have an area in your classroom where you can have the children performing all these lovely Pilates positions, you don't need that much room because they're very stationary, they're not moving around too much, they all have their own little space. But it's a really nice way to embed their learning through movement and really kind of strengthen those pathways of learning and just building up their strength and fitness as well. It's very, very, very useful, very powerful tool.
Now, let's have a look at improving motor skills.
Okay.
So if you think of the body being like a tree, and that in order to have controlled movements of our limbs, our arms and our legs, which are like the branches of the tree, and then more precise movements of your hands, your fingers and your feet and toes, which are like the leaves, the trunk of the tree, or the core, needs to be really strong and secure. Strong core muscles and support through the torso, the upper back and shoulder area is essential to enable precision and control of the limbs and the digits. Our resources provide lots of opportunities for children to build core strength and improve their motor skills in a really fun, engaging and really safe way. Have a look at this one.
Hungry caterpillar on the ground, and my tummy makes a loud rumbling sound. But now I've found 5 oranges, so yummy in their taste. No, I won't let 1 orange go to waste.
Side plank, twist, twist, twist. Run round.
So that was a great example of the types of resources that we can help you with when delivering Pilates. But in addition to that, we also have some lovely flashcards to help the children just focus on what they're trying to do, talk each other into position, have a look at the types of visualizations that are on the card. So let's have a quick look. So you can see here, card 27, rolling back. It tells you how to do it, shows you how to do it, and then describes other ways of visualization to think about. So it's like a rocking chair, it's like a ball rolling forwards and backwards, or a turtle on its back. So anything that will really reach out to children and get them to think, oh yes, I understand what that means now. That's a really nice way, and that's what all the cards do, isn't it?
Now let's take a look at mood management. Children often need help with adjusting and managing their mood, because sometimes they really get themselves in a pickle, don't they? And they can't quite sort themselves out. So exercise can really help with this, and Pilates is really good at this too.
Exercise releases serotonin into the brain to improve mood and reduce anxiety. Pilates movements, in particular, are energising, calming and relaxing, non-competitive and fun. An activity that is totally inclusive and where everyone can achieve. Lots of our Pilates active blasts are done in the classroom, in and around chairs, so there's no need for big spaces, a PE kit or a mat. Children who are body conscious or anxious about exercise are more likely to participate in a short burst of activity like Pilates in the classroom. Here's a Pilates in the jungle activity that I'm sure all your little ones will really love.
Jungle,
walking through the jungle.
What can I see?
What can I see?
If I heard a noise,
If I heard a noise,
what could it be?
Now, let's take a look at mindfulness. Again, it's another buzzword that's around at the moment, but sometimes people are really unsure of its meaning and what it actually entails.
Mindfulness is the ability to be fully present, aware of where we are and what we are doing, and not overly react or be overwhelmed by the world around us. Mindfulness stretching exercises release endorphins into the brain to improve mood. They are calming and relaxing. We also use breathing exercises to take time for yourself and explore how you feel at the moment. Here's a video of calming Pilates mindful stretches and breathing exercises. So join in so you can feel the benefits of Pilates for yourself.
Okay everyone, sit forwards with your bottom towards the front of your chair. Place your feet firmly on the ground and sit up really tall, shoulders down, neck nice and long like a giraffe. And I'd like you to take some big deep breaths for me. Filling up full of air and then letting it all out again. Let's go again. Breathe in, big deep breath in and out. Let's do 2 more. Really breathe in deeply and out. 1 more time. Breathe in and out. Fantastic. This time, let your head relax down, looking towards the floor. Let your fingertips creep down the front of your legs and go as far as you can to the floor. And then walk back up. Sitting tall again, neck like a giraffe, shoulders down. Let's go again. Have a look down at the floor. Creep those fingers down. And walk back up, creeping those fingers back up. Can we do 2 more? Let's go. Looking down at the floor, creeping those fingers down. And back up. Let's do one last one. Make this a really good one. Looking down at the floor, walking down. And coming back up. Sitting tall again. Think, have I grown now? Am I bigger? Shoulders are down, long neck like a giraffe. Bring up your hands so that your fingertips are touching just under your chin. And then we're going to twist around to one side, keeping your bottom and your legs really still. And back to the middle. And the other way. And back to the middle. This time when you twist, I want you to take a big deep breath in for me. And breathe out as you come back to the middle. Let's go the other way. Breathe in. And breathe out. 1 more to each side. Breathe in. Breathe out. And last time.
So hopefully you joined in and had a go at our lovely calming Pilates stretches. And now you feel relaxed but energised and ready to do the next part of the workshop. So now I'd like to think about where a calming Pilates activity would fit into your teaching day.
Yeah, so how about first thing after registration to set the tone for the day. As soon as the children have done their registration, off we go with a Pilates stretch.
Or you could use it in assembly or something like that.
Yeah, everybody doing it together.
After lunch.
Yeah, fantastic. Or maybe as a cool down after a PE session.
Or a long day, a stressful day.
Or even a long week. If you've had a long week, calming Pilates at the end of the week.
Staff meetings are always good.
And always quite in a stressful part of the day, aren't they? So Pilates stretches for the staff would be great.
And then the run up to SATs as well. This is useful for the older students who are getting themselves in a little pickle over SATs.
And the list is endless. There's hundreds of opportunities throughout the day and throughout the week where you could start to slot these kind of activities in. And it's just a really nice way to get some mindfulness, some stretching, some breathing into their day, and it suits you and your class.
And it's not competitive. You don't have to jump around so much. It's just about moving that spine and nourishing that brain and flooding it full of oxygen and hormones that help to improve mood and learn.
Absolutely. So we've looked at the benefits of Pilates for children, and I'm sure you're now really clear on why they all should definitely be doing Pilates exercises, no matter what age they are. Absolutely, every age group can get massive improvements in many different areas. But, and I know there's a but coming. I know you will have questions, I know you will have doubts and worries because it's such a new thing. All teachers feel the same, please don't worry if you do have any doubts. Here are some of the problems that teachers have asked us about and our solutions that we gave them.
So here's a pain point that I hear a lot, which is I'd love to do Pilates with my class, as I know it will help them in lots of ways, but I haven't got the time to prepare new Pilates resources. Some teachers also felt that they didn't feel confident creating resources that were accurate to the Pilates method whilst remaining safe and effective. Well, don't you worry. imoves has created a package of resources that are safe for children, effective and true to the original Pilates mat work exercises. These are the imoves Pilates active blasts for the classroom. Our active blasts are designed to be delivered and performed around their tables and chairs. So we always use their chair, don't we? And the space around their chair, and sometimes the table as well. And it just helps the children to stay in their own little space. We help them to work all their core muscles, build up their strength, and it's always done to a really fun theme. So there's no need for a PE kit. We just get them up, get them active, and away we go. And then afterwards, sit back down, they're ready and refreshed and focused. So our active blasts are lovely, aren't they? Yeah. And they're all done specifically to a theme. So we've got the jungle, the enormous crocodile. We've got something called pumped up Pilates, which is absolutely bonkers. Things like the Egyptians and the Romans for the older kids. So some of them are themed and some of them are just loads of fun.
Yeah, and it's just all about a video. So you just pop on the video, load it up, press play, off you go.
I know, couldn't be easier.
Here he comes, the monster.
Terrifying tusks. Terrifying claws. Terrifying teeth. Terrifying jaws.
Facing your chair, put your elbows down on the chair, take a step back and step back with the other foot to join it. Make sure your body is in a straight line. Lift your head like the Sphinx. Hold that position. Well done.
Oh dear, Toto. We'd better go back home now.
Slash, slash, push, block. One more time. Slash, slash, push, block.
Disguise myself as a coconut tree.
There's also a Pilates PE program that supports dance, gymnastics and games and just takes a little bit more space. So if you've got space in the hall, that's perfect. Each year group has 2 different schemes of work, but they can be interchanged to suit the interests of the children. Each scheme of work has 2 lessons which progress and finish with a performance of the themed Pilates sequence of moves to music. Included in each scheme is an interactive movie. This features the performance at the beginning of the movie, followed by a breakdown of how to do all the different Pilates positions and how to theme them for the scheme. Flashcards allow children to practice their moves in pairs or small groups. The music track allows the children to perform without using the video.
These are the themes and fun ideas that you can find in the imoves Pilates PE program. For age 4 to 6, we have Hop Little Bunnies and the Jungle. 6 to 7 years, the Magic Bucket and the Haunted House. 7 to 8 years, Around the World and Winter Fun. 8 to 9 years, Scary Movies and I Went to the Market. 9 to 10 years, My Family and Through the Decades. and 10 to 11 years, the Olympics and different dance styles.
It's the Olympics! Please welcome your diving team! Your swimming team!
So as a teacher, there's lots of ways that you can use imoves to introduce Pilates into a child's day, whether that be active blasts or into their PE programme.
Another pain point we see, and a question we get asked a lot, is I don't know the moves. How will I know if they are doing it correctly? Use the videos to teach the moves to the kids, and the information on the flashcards gives you lots more information on how to do each move correctly. They can even teach each other the movements using the flashcards. Hi, this is Gay from iMoves.
Another pain point we hear is how to assess Pilates as part of the PE curriculum. We use a point-in-time assessment, PITA, a process that can be used at the end of the Pilates unit to assess specific criteria exactly as you would assess any other PE activity.
Our assessment criteria are in 4 categories, which are physical literacy, creativity and cognitive skills, teamwork and engagement.
You can record each child's score on an easy-to-use spreadsheet. We observe the skills and assess each child from a score of 1, 2 or 3. 1 is nearly there, 2 is achieving and 3 is working higher than expected. We record this progress throughout the year on a simple spreadsheet. So during this workshop, we've hopefully explained all the lovely benefits of Pilates and how to use it throughout your teaching day, whether it be in the classroom or in a lovely PE lesson to support things like dance, gymnastics and PE, and just get the kids super strong and get their motor skills lovely and developed. So if that's inspired you, brilliant, get onto the iMoves platform as soon as you can and take a look. So yeah, we're just going to sign off for today and hopefully see you soon. Bye then.
Bye.